Hi, I'm Will Price and I'm the SEND at Ashby School. I'm going to be talking to you today how we support our students with special educational needs and or disabilities. Firstly, it's worth you knowing that we are part of the Life Multi-Academy Trust, which is a collection of primary and secondary schools across Leicestershire. Now, within that Multi-Academy Trust, we are part of the National Forest Hub, which is 3 schools: Ashby School, Ivanhoe School and Ibstock Community College. Now, this is really useful because we can work together to provide the best possible learning package for our students, and that also includes the SEND departments as well. We work really closely with the SEND departments at Ivanhoe and Ibstock. So at Ashby School, we think it's absolutely vital that we see the whole child and not just any additional learning need they may have. And this is beautifully echoed by Sir John Jones, who said the problem is the problem, not the child. Our mental model of that child may be the barrier to success. Now, it's no secret at the moment that special educational needs within England is currently at crisis point and external support is increasingly hard to access. However, we don't have time to wait for politicians to argue about how they would fix it. We need to support our students in the here and now, which means that we need to be creative with the funding we do have and also do all we can to ensure we can meet our students' needs within the classroom and the school environment. Now, one of the key differences between primary and secondary schools is that there is not a teaching assistant in every classroom in a secondary school, although I'm aware that this is now becoming the case in most primary schools as well. We've got 12 teachers and assistants in school who are all brilliant, but they legally have to be allocated to those students in school who have either education healthcare plans or intervention funding. So how do we support students with and without funding within school? Now, firstly, we have the one-page profiles where we collect information from a variety of sources, including your child's primary school and yourselves, which I'll talk about more later. And that information is collated and put into one easy to read, accessible document for staff, and that is ready for them before the start of next academic year. They'll be given time on their inset days to prepare themselves and familiarise themselves with the most effective strategies for the students they are teaching. We also subscribe to the 5-a-day principle from the Education Endowment Foundation, and the principle here is what is vital for some of our students benefits all of them. So these 5 factors will benefit every student, but they're really, really useful for our students with special educational needs and or disabilities. So that's explicit instruction, cognitive and metacognitive strategies, scaffolding, flexible grouping, and using technology. If we look to focus at just one of those, we'll have a look at scaffolding. Now, scaffolding is a temporary support that can be removed when it is no longer needed. This can be done gradually. Now, there are 3 types of scaffolding. We've got visual scaffolds, such as a task planner, a checklist, or a modelled example of the work. We have verbal scaffolding, which is how our staff interact with students and giving them the verbal cues to support them with their learning. It might be verbal reminders. And we have written scaffolding. So this might be a word bank with keywords the students need to use. It might be a writing frame for extended writing activities, or it might be sentence starters. And different students will respond well to different types of scaffolding. And our aim with all students is eventually for them to be self-scaffolding. They're knowing what scaffolding is best to support their learning and being able to apply that independently. So obviously, due to our size, our communication structure is likely to be different to what you've experienced at your child's primary school, and there are different people to contact for different issues. If your child has a pastoral issue, then the first person to go to is their form tutor. And now, if that can't be dealt with by them, it will go to the year team leader, who for your year is Mrs. Sever. For any learning specific inquiries, they should initially go to the subject teacher, because every teacher is a teacher of SEND. And if they can't deal with those, then it will come to the SEND department. For any SEND specific matters, you can contact us via email, which is send@ashbyschool.org.uk. So we have a variety of ways of how we communicate with parents and carers. We have our website, we will communicate through email, there are termly newsletters. We have active social media on Twitter or X and Instagram. We use the Arbor app, student planners, there are parent evening, a progress data report goes home each term, and we also use phone calls as well. We completely understand how transition can be a very daunting time for students and families, but we've worked really hard to work closely with the primary schools to gather and receive as much information about each student who is joining us. Now, the primary schools were also given the opportunity to select certain students who they felt would benefit from an additional transition visit, and I know that our year team leaders have been into the primary schools as well to meet those students and talk to them about the transition. I spoke earlier about one-page profiles and how they'll be ready for the start of next year, and I did send out an email a week or so ago offering you the opportunity to contribute to those one-page profiles. Now, if you, for whatever reason, haven't received that email, you can ask for that from us from send@ashbyschool.org.uk. Just let us know, we can send that link over to you. Now, the induction days and the first few weeks of the school year are really heavily supported, and I know one of the big worries is about students getting lost. They won't be given the chance to get lost because they will be so closely supervised going between lessons and social times. It's a very well-oiled machine, and staff are well versed on how to support those young people in those areas. We hope to see you at the Year 6 Welcome Evening on June the 26th, where you can meet key members of the leadership and pastoral teams, and it's also the opportunity for everybody to meet their form tutors who will be with their child throughout their time at Ashby School. Well, I think all that's left to say is that we look forward to welcoming your child on induction day for the start of their journey with us at Ashby School. Have a good summer.